Scary stuff. Now, when Canberra woman Vanessa Woods traded a quiet life in the capital for the chaos of the jungles of Costa Rica, she got far more than even her adventurous spirit bargained for. Her assignment was simply to study monkeys deep in the jungle. But she ended up with a book, It's Every Monkey for Themselves, that has more to say about her human cohabitants than the primates. I caught up with her at where else but the monkey enclosure at the National Zoo and Aquarium. You're a nice Maurici girl. You come from a nice, comfortable home in Canberra. What on earth drove you to the jungles of Costa Rica and these fellas?
Well, actually, Philip, I'd love to say that, I was just fascinated by the monkeys and I couldn't wait to get into the jungle to know more. But actually, I got dumped by the man I thought I was going to marry, and it just sort of drove me a little crazy. So I just packed up my bags and then just went to the jungle to study monkeys.
What did you learn? What was the essence of what you learned about these little critters?
I think the biggest thing I learned is that we're all monkeys. We were living in a house with 8 other people, and at first I just didn't get the monkeys because, they can be really aggressive and just completely obsessed with sex. I mean, absolutely, completely. But I mean, after about 4 months living with, 8 other people in the jungle, we turned out pretty much the same.
So, exactly the same? Or?
Yeah, pretty much exactly the same.
Who were the more civilized in the end?
The monkeys. The monkeys were absolutely the more civilized. They, they put much more attention into grooming their friendships than we did. And I think that was another thing I learned, is that you've got to have your friends and maintain them.
What is then, for you, the basis of human existence? Having gone through that experience, what's the essence of being a human?
Sex and hierarchy, I think. That's the thing we most care about. And of course, having offspring, but I guess sort of when you're younger. What really matters is where you are in the hierarchy.
And that is a general conclusion about the whole of society.
Yeah, I'd say that was just, general. World over. It really matters. And it's really funny because I guess in just day-to-day life, you don't really sort of care about where you are, or you've been assigned. You have a job and then you have a position. But sort of in the jungle where we were really sort of locked up, and the hierarchy didn't get you better food, or, you didn't get to sleep in, but you really cared about it. You cared about your position in a way that I just never had before.
And just in very quick summary, what did go on amongst the humans in the jungle in that confined environment?
Well, I mean, there were some pretty bad effects. So anxiety, depression, some people developed alcoholism. I mean, there were all sorts of diseases we had to cope with as well. We were all completely obsessed with who was having sex with who. But apart from that...
we're only talking 8 people or so, aren't we?
Yeah, but it's like Melrose Place. Melrose Place, people just play Bold and the Beautiful. You can go around a lot of times. But I think the best things, and the thing about being so isolated, is the best times become so good, and you feel like you've never been so happy in your entire life. And the monkeys, of course, are hysterical. Malu, I see you. I see you.
That's not the end of it, is it? You've progressed on to yet another monkey project. Tell us about that.
Well, when I left the Costa Rican jungle, I absolutely swore I was never, ever going to look at another primate again. But now we're working with the very endangered bonobos in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
It's an absolutely extraordinary journey, yours, isn't it? From the middle class, comfortable Canberra. Why do you think you in particular have taken this course? I mean, Broken Heart propelled you there, but obviously there's something else about you that must have opened that world to you.
I think I'm just absolutely fascinated with primate behavior because I guess it's really narcissistic. They remind me so much of humans, and I really am interested in, how much of us as humans belongs to primates. And I think with bonobos especially, you can really see a reflection in them, and for me that's just absolutely fantastic.
What sort of things do you observe?
Well, they did this funny thing, so it was really weird. So you put your hand over my nose, and then I'd put your hand over my nose, and they'd sit there for like about half an hour, just in a trance. And only monkeys in one group did it, and the younger monkeys didn't, and we didn't know what it was.
What was it about? What was that about?
Why do we shake hands, and why do the Japanese bow? We don't know.
Excuse me, sorry. Can I just do that again?
Yeah, then you close your eyes like this.
For how long?
Like half an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
that's nice.
It's peaceful.
I've learned something from the monkeys. Who would you prefer to spend the rest of your life with? The monkeys or the humans?
No, bonobos, which are great apes. They're not monkeys, but bonobos, they're fantastic. They live in really peaceful societies. They're female-dominated. There's no violence, almost no violence, and every time they get even remotely anxious, they just have sex.
And that's all the time?
All the time, every time. Boys with girls, girls with girls, boys with boys. So it doesn't matter. It's a tension-relieving exercise. So I think they've got a good philosophy.
On that note, thank you very much for joining us on Stateline.
Thanks for having me.
And good luck. You're heading back to the jungles in the Congo?
Yeah, I'm heading back to the Congo in August, so
good luck with that.
Survive it.